So beginning with the Japanese family structure, just like in our North American family traditions, most families in Japan are nuclear families, meaning man and wife married, living with their children, generally with a grandparent. But as history and tradition plays into the actual makeup and societal definition of a family, the Japanese family has very, very specific differences as comparing them to our own. First of which is that traditional Japanese family live in a multi-generational home, meaning it includes the extended family. There could be 3, 4, and very possibly even 5 generations living under one roof, from great-grandparents down to the children of children within one home, which is creating expectations and very dynamic roles. The first of which is an expectation, is the patrilineal system. Most homes follow this, which is where the property, social standings, rights, duties, and obligations are expected to go from father to eldest son. Now, this means that only one child inherits. If there's an eldest daughter, she is stepped over, and any remaining children are expected to leave and find their own way in the world. So this is called primogeniture, when the eldest son takes on that responsibility and that inheritance. But it is not unique to Japan. We've seen it in Western Europe. We've actually even seen it as the major contributor to the growth for the U.S. in the Midwest. But for Japan, this was a major contributor to the middle of the 19th century, where it was the growth of their Industrial Revolution, where families would have more than one son, and they would often send the second, third, fourth to these newly growing cities and to start entirely new lifestyles, while the fabric of rural society was maintained intact. Now, to further step into those extra children, in case of daughters, they would follow a very traditional marriage structure, which would be arranged marriages, where basically a daughter would go as a bride and be incorporated into some additional family. But as for those additional sons, they kind of just got screwed over for their inheritance. So what they've done is created a very traditional Japanese kinship, where in essence they would send the men to be married out as grooms, just as the women would be sent out to be married with arranged marriages. But this particular social custom is called adopted sons-in-law, especially for these families that had daughters but had no sons, would actually adopt a young man, have him marry their daughter, generally the eldest, and when that adoption marriage was completed, he would take on that family name. And for all intents and purposes would be considered the heir to the family. Now, this doesn't mean the daughter inherits, it's still through the son, but it's by way of adoption.